Good morning, hello, happy Friday, everyone. It is great to be at the end of the week. Great to be at the beginning of the weekend. Can't wait. Um, it's sprint day for me at my day job, which is always day-long meetings. But that does mean we don't have a lot of meetings the rest of the days, so that is nice. But we're not here to talk about my day job. We're here to work on our sort of like falling random chooser drop thingy. I don't have a good name for it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'd be happy to sort of like entertain some of the ideas, maybe choose one of them besides random chooser drop. All right, so if let's do a cargo run and see where we left off. So we have the walls on the side. We have the balls that sort of collect in the top. We can sort of wait for them to be done, or we can just let them go whenever we want. They then fall down to the end, and that's pretty much it, I believe. So I probably want to remove one of these bottom lines and then have like a collector down here. I think that's what I want to do. And we can have it be like the size of one ball, so that way only one can be the first to get through. Like that one, for instance, might have been the one that got through. So to do that, I guess first, maybe instead of like removing the bottom row, let's create this, essentially it's a wall, but it's a tilted wall. So it does make me wonder about how would I do this with rotation? So if I had it just along the bottom, just flat, and then I rotate it like that, I think that's what would work. So let's create another wall here along the bottom. Where do I want to go? Library. So we have create walls. Let's create. I guess this is going to be the collector. So what do we need to do for this actually to work for us? We need to have just a single. Okay, so we're going to create the wall, which means we need a position, right? Yeah, for insert wall, we need a position. So let's say we do like the left one first, and so it's just slanting down to the right. So do let position, let left position. So if I want this to be like halfway through, then I want to pivot on the actual bottom part of the screen, I'm guessing. Maybe slightly above it. Maybe slightly above it. We could actually have this be in our config. So we can have a collector offset X. So how far off do we want the center of the collector to be from the middle? So let's say, actually it should just be halfway from the center. Okay, so I don't need to do this. Really, I just want to be, how high up do I want it to be? That's really the only question. So this should be offset Y. And we can just set this as like maybe 10 right now because we don't know anything else. And that means in our config struct, we'll also add you in. Okay, so if we know that we want this, the X of this to be halfway between the middle and the left, we need the halfway point, which we can get. So is that really just, that's really just gonna be divided by 4. So it's 1/4 of the way. So that's gonna be self.config dot width divided by 4. And then for the Y, it's gonna be self.config dot collector offset Y. Oh, but it's gonna be self.config dot height minus that. So that way, because it's 10 up. Okay, so that creates our left position. Insert a wall, so we need the wall width. We can actually use this as the wall width. And the config height. Okay, then we have to set what our height is. So we have left position, let our width, the width of this wall, that's actually going to be huge, right? Because that's going to be, well, at least 1/4, maybe even 1/2 of. Let's try 1/2. Self.config dot width divided by 2. Height. Self.config dot wall width can be our height in this case. But then we're gonna have to have a rotation. So we're gonna want inner config our collector rotation can be, maybe let's do like 5 degrees to begin with. Okay, so given those things, then what I would like to do is come into go into physics, and where we have the insert wall, I want to add in here rotation. I wish I could have this be an optional with a default value, but I can't, I don't think. So in here with wall, we can do a rotation. And an angle, so that's the rotation. I think that means we can also do this. No, I think we do one of them or the other, but not both. I think so. So then back to you. All of these. 0.0. All right, so now that we have you, we can do self.physics.insert ball. No, insert wall. Give it the left position, the width, the height, and this rotation. That gives us an ID. Then with that ID, we're going to want to store away We already have the color for all the walls. That should be fine. So I think we just need to do the type. The type, which we'll just call this a wall, really. That's really what it is. So, let I guess this will be the draw type. Draw type is going to be a data type wall. Then we can insert this in. So we're going to do draw data self dot draw data dot. Oh, we have to insert the rectangle too. Okay, so we have to have the rectangle. So let draw rect new. So where are we going with this? I think we have to go farther out than left with the center point on the halfway to the halfway point, so 1/4 of the way through. But yeah, if I go all the way out to the left, I think that's not going to work. Yeah, so we're going to want this to be starting at like, I don't know, negative. I don't actually know if the starting position really matters. -50, and then Y, that needs to start at self.config dot height minus self.config dot collector offset Y. Then we have the width. The width is, I guess, for right. We want this stacking. Hello. We want this to be plus that. That. I'm gonna do 0 for right now because I think that's what the physics is gonna have the same problem. So we're gonna want to solve it the same way with a variable. Okay, so self. We just have the width here. Come on, hit the right keys. We have width. We have height. Okay. Then we can do self dot draw data dot insert rectangle, the left ID, and the draw rect. So that gives us that, and I think we're ready to go. Oh, we need rotation now too. Okay, so we need, in our draw data, we need to add in rotations. Yes, I am wearing a sweater over a Hawaiian shirt. It's gonna be 79 degrees today, so I'm gonna be able to actually like take this off, but I'm in a basement right now, which is not warm. So it is a little bit counterintuitive. I know. I'm gonna be wearing a Hawaiian shirt. It's Friday, so I mean, why not? Also, it's gonna be warm, so I'm gonna be able to even walk outside with only a short sleeve shirt. That is, oh, man. We've been waiting most of the year for that. Okay, so then we have insert type, insert rectangle, function. Okay, insert rotation. This can be the rotation. Oops, 32. We'll have the ID and rotation. There we go. Okay, so that allows us to insert that. Insert rotation, give it left ID and the rotation. Okay, perfect. 79 in the mountains. I get it does feel like that, although summer hasn't started yet, so it might get really warm here. Let's actually no, not that. For this rotation, let's actually do this is a left rotation. So we might be doing right after this. So you're a left draw type too. Well, you're right, Utsby. I am closer to the sun. That is absolutely correct. Utsby, by the way, yesterday I was able to watch through the rest of your answer video. I think it's super helpful. I still need some time to actually work through it. So potentially a future stream will be doing a micro sort of exploration of the bit mapping thing, so I can truly grok it by doing it. But your explanations have been super helpful, so thank you. I got a page of notes in my notebook. Let's see. And good morning. Oh, we need to add in the draw type too. So you're the left ID and the left draw type. All right, so then down here in the bottom, we don't need to rotate at all, but we should store the rotations, right? Or rather, we should. Excuse me 1 second. I just heard something falling. They'll be okay. Oh, got a spider. Lily, you want to come join the stream? No, I got rid of the spider for you. I'm sorry. I'm back. So, Zilby found a spider, and he was chasing after it into a pile of boxes. You're gonna go look for it again? It's gone now. But it was a ground spider, like one of the ones that just likes to crawl around the floor, which I am not a fan of those spiders. If they sit in the corner and they don't move, I'm okay with those. It was useful practice for you. rarely do the code explaining thing or even talking at all these days. I can understand that. If I wasn't streaming, the only talking I'd be doing would be like, hello, you know, beginning end of the day with my wife, and then just like meetings, which would mean like most of my talk would be business and be terrible. Let's see. So what am I doing here? Oh right, when we need to get in our draw table, we need to get the rotation out. Don't forget the talking to myself. That's true. Right now, I'm probably more talking to myself than any real people, right? I mean, it is possible that you're all just figments of my imagination and I don't actually stream. I haven't put that, like that's a possibility. Function, get rotation. $32. So I think what I want to do is have this return a default rotation if we don't find it. So if let some rotation self dot rotations get based on the ID. Muttering to yourself and swearing at the cats is 99% of your vocal output. I totally get that. Zilby's been pretty good recently, but he can get there. Let's see, rotation. We're gonna get from this. So we're gonna return the referenced rotation. Otherwise, we're gonna return a 0. You see, I got into the Colorado finest today. I did. Let's see. I do have some, but I haven't done that in like over 2 years. Which reminds me, like I don't even remember. I have a vaporizer for that, and I don't even think it's charged. I don't even remember where the battery charger is. So even if I wanted to, I don't know if I could. Because that's not the best. I think the last time it got used, I like lent it to a friend. That was way before a pandemic happened. All right, get rotation. So now we can come back out of here. So for these walls in draw, we need to get the rotation, which is going to be 0. Give it that ID. Then mesh builder, rectangle, draw mode. Oh, can I not? I think I'm gonna have to do. I'm not gonna be able to. I'm gonna have to do the calculation myself, aren't I? Because I can't do a like rotation off of here. I can only do a rotation off of the entire. So if I'm doing a single draw, this is where that draw param for the rotation comes in, and that's not helpful for me. So I would need to. Oh, that's gonna be something. I almost feel like it's gonna be simpler to have our bottom parts be like a separate draw then. I mean, it will definitely be easier. Definitely easier. I could also like calculate what that rotation is going to be. But for example, if I do this, there's no way for me to like actually draw the rotation. So if we run this, we should see the wall down there in the bottom, but actually is that, you know, I don't actually know where it went. I'm curious to see whether or not it's actually there though, and just invisible. As they slowly make their way down. That one fell straight through. Okay, those fell straight through too. So those aren't where we expect them to be. So I think if my draw type are the collectors, so we need to add in draw data for collectors. Which in this case, we can go back to just this returns this returns the rotation. So in collector, our type is gonna be collector. That means down here, we can add another data type. All right, so the biggest thing that we've learned about this is we have to create a new mesh and build directly from this. So mesh equals builder new. So we have to get the rectangle. So for the mode, it's going to be a mode fill. The bounds is going to be that rect. So let's get that out. And then color. So that's going to be our self.config.wall color. So we'll build you. And then we can just draw this out right here. Graphics. Draw. That allows us to have these draw params, which then we can give a rotation. Okay, so rotations. data, rotation, pass the ID. That should give us that. Rotation. Okay, so we would expect that to draw out now. It does not. Okay. Option unwrap on a none value. Draw data line 55. This rotation. Okay, so couldn't find this rotation based upon the ID. Walls, we don't need to grab wall rotation. Oh, I don't even see it here. Okay, so it's just totally screwed up the way I tried to do this. Cool. So now we know that however I want to draw it, if I can get it to display, then we should be good to go. Also, just to make sure that I'm not going crazy, let's debug here. Are we drawing this? Oh, no. Okay. I guess not. 'Cause that's not hitting. Okay. Well, that's not where it is because the balls are wait. Is that where? No, okay, they're passing through it. So that's not where it is. It's not on the right-hand side. That makes sense. And it's not on the left-hand side. Okay, so we don't know where it is. It's not in the middle somewhere. Well, that's cool. All right, well, if we create the left, okay, creating the left collector here. We have our width and we have our the height of the collector itself. Okay, so that makes, you know, that hopefully makes sense. We have our left position. So it's our config width divided by 4. So like the center of it should move over by that amount. And then the height should be like at the bottom and then up a little bit, okay? So that should be right. Now for the draw, let's see if I can get the draw working correctly first. So X if we take our center position, so our left position of where this is, dot X, that's this self-to-config dot width divided by 4. So what if I do left, no, position dot x, and then subtract double it, maybe? Do I need you to be public? Oh, it's a data. Okay. So if I want to get like get x, I wonder if I get, it'll rotate around whatever the local origin is. So, oh really? Okay, I thought it was going to rotate around the center point. It doesn't. It rotates around the local origin. You're right. Okay. For some reason, I thought I was going to rotate around the center. And then I was having to do like math to do that correctly, but I guess not. Okay, so if I need to rotate around the origin, how do I figure that out? Or is that, do I not care about that? Maybe I don't actually even care about the rotation. Now we have a wall as just being like, just a straight line like that. But if I say it like, hey, if we're going like up from here and then down to like, down to this point, that's a ramp too. That should also work. Do I want a completely different type of line, like maybe a polyline? Instead of a rectangle? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so let's reconsider these. If we have our positioning here, I kind of want then to come into physics. Let's experiment with a different type of body here. So this could be like insert I don't know, like we have insert nail, we have insert wall, insert shape maybe. Oh, because then we can have like start X. Start Y, F32, end X. Is that how it works? Before I do this, if I do a body, so that shape equals rigid body builder. Okay, so this one, it's actually the collider that we care about. So this is going to be the collider builder. Polyline, which is going to be a vector of points. A vector of points, okay. So in here, we would probably take in the points, which would be a vec of point. They're F32 points, so in our helpers, maybe we want to create our own point system to sort of wrap around those other points since we always have trouble with them. Where is that? Helpers. So we have vector 2. We kind of want to create our own point then too to wrap around that. Then we're just going to have an F32 and a Y, which is an F32. That's what we're going to care about here. That. Okay, and then we're gonna want a 2 point. So, you know, something I haven't tried before that I've wanted to try. Can I do impl into for this is gonna be an n algebra point F32 for point. I can. Okay, so we have into for this, and then we're gonna return a n algebra point new self.x self.y. Don't do that. An algebra point. And then you need to be a 0.2, don't you? Oh, only traits defined in a current crate can be implemented for arbitrary types. Wait a second. Nope. This wrong one. That one we want to keep. So we're still doing this. Then you're going to be an algebra. 0.2. Expected 1 argument found 2. Oh, is this the same problem? A point is just an X. Hold on. What do you really need? Let's actually go to documentation. So in this case, it's a polyline inside of Collider Builder. This takes a vec of these points of a real number. So, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, we should probably do a Rapier 2D math point. That's what this is. Because it's 2. Okay. A Rapier 2D math point. So instead of instead of this n algebra thing, so into, you're going to be a Rapier 2D math point F32 for this point here. Okay, so into self, we're going to return this. Then guess it'll be that. You're just a type though. Which is an n algebra geometry point with two things. Okay, so then this is an n algebra point new self.x self.y. Think so? Peyton Rules, hello. Rating B Porter. Oh, awesome. Glad to have you here, B Porter. Also, thank you so much, Peyton Rules, for the raid. How are you both doing today? And what were you working on, Peyton Rules? I saw online that you had to keep the stream a little bit shorter today. And do you want to play one of the online games? I'm okay if you don't want to. That's okay too. We can just skip that. Okay, so you're upset because you just want this to be one thing, which is unfortunate. It's Friday, so better than previous 4 days of the week. I feel you. I feel you. I'm right there with you. So if I do a 0.2, you still don't like this because of all of the fun things that it does. It doesn't know what this is. Now, what if I do you always up for increasing your streamer game score? Oh, we could do, instead of the asteroid game, do you want to do the, here, we'll do the get the streamer game then. That's where we can increase our score. So, what is that? CD, workspace, wait a second. It's just here. There we go. Collider Builder, real men write collision detection themselves incorrectly, so it doesn't work right. Which is what you did this morning. I've been there so many times. This is the first time I've used a physics library. It's actually it's like a breath of fresh air after doing all the math myself. Especially I'm doing the I'm doing the nature of code stuff in the sort of the afternoons off stream, but for the YouTube videos, and that's continuation of the everything yourself, which keeps me in practice, I suppose. But Rapier 2D is really nice. I'm probably misusing it a lot, but it is really nice. All right, if you haven't seen this game before, the way you play is through Twitch chat. You're going to say things like #fire, #sword, #snake, and then a column number. It drops out of here, and then my job is to avoid you as much as possible. See if I can not get hit 3 times. Oh, okay. Well, there goes one. No. I saw the heart and then I got like, I just focused in on that and I forgot to look at everything else. Oh, that's too bad. Okay. B Porter with 30 more points added to your total. Awesome. Okay, so you might be right. Let's see. USP, you were saying, okay, there's translation and rotation functions in Collider Builder that should allow you to offset to locally center in a body position or pre-rotate the colliders. You know what I did? B Porter with a subscription. Thank you so much, B Porter, for the tier 1 subscription. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. We have one, I guess we have two. What are these? Emotes that you can use? I think my favorite one is this one. The Zilby Cool, which is our kitty cat that sometimes comes and hangs out with us. Right now is hunting spiders because he saw one near the boxes earlier and I had to go rescue him from it. Okay, so do I want to try that? I think I might want to. So the easiest way to stop that from doing anything, I'll just comment you out. That will stop even checking that point for problems. We're gonna come back into here. If I don't do anything like this, we just put this back to the way we had it, which was 0.0 initially. So we do all this the same. What else do we have? In physics, insert shape, we're gonna get rid of that. Now in this insert wall, we were trying to put the rotation on the wall. That might be incorrect. Maybe we should put the rotation on the collider. So rotation. So if I do that and rerun this, now our draw is still incorrect. Well, I mean, we know it's not here. So the GGEZ drawing is happening over here. So it's like here, and I think it's rotating from this point. So it's like coming up this way, which is not what we want at all in any sense of the word. But I'm looking for any evidence that there's a wall sort of over here. I probably could just stop the, you know what? That's gonna be easier. Let's just turn off the nails. That'll be a lot faster for testing. Yeah, you I figured it out like right at the same time that I think you did. There's something right there. Did you see that? There's something weird right around here. Or not? Was that just them, the balls hitting each other? No. Okay, there is definitely something right here. So where did it rotate off of the top left? So if we want to go back into physics, right, we can't do anything here. In physics, so insert wall. What methods are here that could help us? Don't know if modify solver. There's that translation. Is the translation what you're talking about? That's the initial translation of the collider to be created relative to the rigid body it is translated to. So translate it by half the width and height. Okay, so if we do half the width and height, so that would be width divided by 2, height divided by 2. So if we do that, now unfortunately this is going to do it for all of them, which is, I don't think what we want. I think that's going to be, oh, minus. Yeah, that's out that way, isn't it? So minus. Oh, wait, just take. Wait, I think I got that. I think what we wanted was width minus half the width. Height minus half the height. I think that's what we wanted. Now another question is that angle right or not? Because like, is this too much? That it's like just going off the edge. If I do a rotation of like 0.01, that should be almost flat. Look at that. The draw fixed up too. And so we can see that right here. You meant, oh, negative width times half. Oh, okay. So I had it right, and then I didn't get it right. Okay, but okay, that's closer. So let's do 2 to get a little bit better there, and then in physics, this is gonna be okay. So negative width, the negative height. Well, look at that. Now, are you gonna stop and then eventually roll back down? That looks like a flat surface, unfortunately. And then you just fall off there. Do I need to... Do I need to do the translation before the rotation? Does the order matter here? It might. Yeah, this one is very slowly starting to move towards the right. So I think we have it now. And this draw isn't too bad either. The problem here, of course, is that the walls are gone essentially. Like they're drawing in the correct spot, but that's because my draw data and the physics data are like in separate spots. So first of all, I only want to do this translation if we have a rotation. So if we do let collider equals that, and then I kind of don't like this, but if rotation is greater than, I guess if rotation is not equal to 0, then translate by this. Then it's going to be just collider translate for that, then start over again. Collider, and then you need to be mutable. So if we do that, we have an error. Found, oh, the builder, oh, let's see. Build, so that collider equals, this is really the collider builder. And U2. Use a move value. Oh, right, because this. I don't think I can do like mutable ref. Can I do like that ref mute? No, because it got moved on 74 here. What do you return? Oh, you return self. Okay, so hold on. We can just go back. Collider. So mute that. Collider equals. We do that collider transaction, and then we just do this again. And you should be happier now. Okay, no errors now. Let's see what we got. So now we should have walls, and we should have this teeny tiny little ramp. Perfect. Okay. Now the ramp is a little bit low for what we're displaying, but I think that might actually be the GGEZ problem. So first of all, we don't need that here anymore. The lawn won't mow itself. Thank you so much, Utsby, for stopping by and for the help. Have a good rest of your Friday. Okay, so collector. So we have this rotation here, which that seems to be fine so far. In our config, if we like pull this up to be like 50 offset, Yeah, we still have the same problem where it's like double the height in here. Like this looks appropriate. This looks what we want it to look like. But the collider isn't exactly where we want it to be. I want to shift the collider down a little bit. Also, I don't think we need to move. Right here at the center of it is when it falls off. Can I just tell you? Okay, collider root. What if I don't translate by this? What if I just do 0.0? I'm curious like what the collider looks like here. I guess like it can't be looks like, but like what it feels like. Then it's all the way to this very edge. Okay, then if I want it down just a tiny little bit, so it's not this, but like minus the height, like plus, I don't know, some arbitrary amount. Let's just try 10, just to sort of like see what it feels. I feel like that went the wrong way. So this would be minus. And to make it like really obvious, let's go 50. It should be like clipping into the that ramp. Yeah, okay, so it clips into that ramp. So 10 might be right. Maybe like 8 or something. No, a little bit more. Maybe like 15, maybe 20. Let's try 20. Ooh, that looks pretty nice. Just a tiny bit more down. 25? So I'm thinking that I might want another one of these. Like insert, instead of an insert wall, this could be like an insert collector. Or an insert rotated wall or something like that. Because dealing with the rotation there is like a little bit of a pain. Okay, this looks really good. This looks perfect. They're just right on top of that. Okay, so how would I want to deal with this? We can then create the other one. I'm thinking instead of another insert wall, we would have a hub function. Maybe this could be like insert rotated wall. So we'd have our position, which is that vector 2. We'd have width. We'd have width, height. Then we have this rotation, and then we have to have this offset for the height. So let's just do because we want, yeah, okay, so we want the width offset 32 and the height offset, just an F32. We're not going to do anything in here. It's going to be very similar to this. So I might, right now, I can probably just copy you because you're kind of what we want you to be. But there's a couple little differences in here. So we know we are going to rotate. It's a rotated wall. So we create our ID, we get the position. Do I want this to be here like that? Do I want our rotation to be here? It's a good question. I don't know. We have the wall. Okay, so everything is here like that. Handle, collider. So I don't need to do this anymore. Need a semicolon. We're going to just have a translate the translation directly on here. And then do the rotation directly too. Until we eventually build, and then we insert that in, and we are going to return this ID. Okay. Then here, you're going to be the minus the height offset. Let's not even have a width offset for right now. We'll add that in as we need it. Okay, so then you're happy. We can then fix you. So insert wall, we get rid of that rotation. We don't need this entire thing anymore, which means we can go back to, wait a second. Don't need you. Okay, like that. So that makes you all happy. Back to here, all these fun errors. Okay, so we don't need that. Same for you. You. Okay, so in create collector, let's also just make this create like left collector. So that way it's like, I don't know, nice and simple. We can do it twice. Like another time for the right hand side. I'm not sure. Okay, so physics. Okay, so insert wall. We're not going to insert a wall anymore. Now we're going to insert a rotated wall. Give it the position. So anywhere we have like left in here. Anywhere we have left in here. Just get rid of you. Okay, so we have this position, which is this vector new. Okay, so we figure out what that is. This seems to be fine so far. We have our width and our height. We have the rotation. We have the draw type, which is this collector. We get the ID, we insert rotated wall, so that gives us a position, the width, the height, the rotation, and then the height offset, which right now we know is 25.0. Which I kind of want to come in and just say that this is a plus to make us be aware that this needs to be a negative there. Then we draw this rectangle, which is the exact same as everything else here. And then we're good to go. So if I rerun you, does everything work? Sort of. We're back down to the bottom of the... Oh, it's rotated, not the same level. It's above here. And it's below here. Okay. So having the, let's see, physics. We do this translation here. I'm wondering, do we need that? Because we're now saying like rotation at the initial bodybuilder. And then if I take off this offset, no, we don't have an offset. Oh, we need the offset here. So position, okay, with this rotation plus the height offset. Oh, wow, okay. That's even higher up. But it's, okay. Sort of wasn't what I was expecting it to be. I'm thinking that trying to do the rotation here isn't really all that helpful. So if we set up U, we turn this translation back on, and we have, oh wait, but we have the rotation here. Oh. Maybe I only want the rotation to be here. Okay, then we're gonna have our height offset. This looks pretty even up and down. Okay, so plus the height offset. No, that's not exactly right. I feel that's, oh, it's because it's the translation that we want, not this. We don't want the offset to be affecting the angle. That's the problem here. The rotation is fine because that's setting the right angle, but we need like the position here, like our collider needs to be maybe plus height offset. Well, that's interesting. Did that rotate way too much? So it's this cuboid. We do it based upon this height. Interesting. Well, we know we have it working the other way. So I might want to just keep this at 0.0. Keep our translation here. Keep our rotation here. If we do this, I think it works. and then maybe more time experimenting with how things get like brought in. I think part of it is I'm struggling with the draws are separate. Yeah, this works exactly as expected. My draws are separate from my, well, everything else. Huh, I wonder why that just sort of like suddenly went left there a little bit. It looks like it extends out a little tiny bit more than what we have showing here. Which would be a draw problem. So I wonder, let's see if we go back to the library. I wonder if we're running into the same, like a similar problem with the draws. Like it's got the nice angle on it, but it doesn't extend far enough. And I don't necessarily want to have something like width, plus 25. But I kind of do wonder whether or not that would like fix that. It's off by exactly 25. So that number, that 25 number is really important here. Is it? Why is it off by 25? Is there like a 50 somewhere? Is it that? Is it my offset Y is based upon this? So if I do half of that, so if I do negative self dot config dot vector times 0.5, and then here minus here. This is then going to be plus self dot config dot vector offset Y 0.5. Then if we come back into config JSON and we change you to like 75, or let's bring it down a little bit, maybe like 25. If this works, then that'll be really nice to sort of like understand the math behind this. It's close. It's on top of it still. So I think the 25. No, I think it's 25 still. If we set this to just be 25.0 and U be negative 25.0. I think it's going to be perfect still, even in this new position. So it doesn't, I don't think it has a relationship with the the Y position. No. Yeah, okay, this works just fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a config JSON for this. Let's see, this is gonna be the collector rotation offset. And that's gonna be 25.0. So collector rotation offset, head into here. Which means in our main library, instead of this being a negative of that, we can just do a self.config.vector rotation offset, and u can be a plus self.config.collector rotation offset. So that way we can play around with that. Everything should still work. So that gives us, let's see. That gives us the left collector. So it is 8:27. I do have a meeting starting in shortly. So I am gonna have to call it an end here. So I'm gonna close down the YouTube video. And next time we're gonna be working on the other side. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.